There are many ways to get the things that we want for ourselves in our lives. But basically, it all begins with how we choose to think. And once you know that what you think about is what expands, you start getting real careful about what you think about. You don't allow your thoughts to be on anything that you don't want.
Change your whole approach of how you see life, and it will help you to get to that next level. It'll help you to get unstuck.
Wherever there is investment, there's frustration, because investment creates expectation. Anytime you invest, you have expectation. And anytime you have expectation, you have the potential for disappointment. You can't be disappointed if you haven't invested anything.
The only way you can come out of unhappiness is if you choose and say, okay, it's going to be a long journey. It's going to take a lot of time, and I'm going to try and try and try, but I'll get there. What do most of us do every day? We watch negative news, we swipe on toxic positivity, and we're just drowning ourselves in negativity. And then what happens? What happens is we become really good at being negative. We become really good at finding what's wrong with life. We're basically configuring our brains to be unhappy.
There is a lot of fighters, but not everybody can become champion. Champion become when you can handle all this pressure. This is the difference between fighters, just fighters, and champions. You know, but I handle this and I control this.
Life ain't fair to nobody. You just gotta fight through, man. You gotta bite back sometime.
Most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss. No, most people fail in life because they're just like I was for 14 years. They aim too low and hit, and many never aim at all, not at all. They just go through life surviving. And how people live their lives is a result of their state of mind. It has been said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. We become what we think about. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. In order to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do, in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Your mind is a machine. You must program yourself for success. There's more in you right now than's represented in your bank account. There's more in you right now that's being reflected by your life right now. Your life is not a true reflection of your potential. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine.
In the absence of purpose, we will start digging holes in our life. In the absence of doing something meaningful, we will start literally binge watching TV, binge eating, binge drinking. Any vice will lead to self-destruction, holes in your life.
You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. There are things that you're going to be able to do that eye has not seen, ear has not heard. There are things that you have in you that you don't even know. But until you get outside of your comfort zone, you will never discover it. You have something special. You have greatness within you. But in order to manifest your greatness, you've got to put yourself in a perpetual state of discomfort. So you've got to challenge yourself. You've got to raise the bar on yourself. You've got to get busy. You've got to work your plan. Even if you've got a job right now, you've got to work yourself out of it. You've got to have an exit date where you say, hey, I've had it. It's time for me to do me.
Most of us were raised to become ordinary. Ordinary is you go through your life and you fill out the forms and you pay your taxes and you do what your parents tell you and you're honorable and you're honest and you're a good citizen, and then you die. Extraordinary is something very, very different. This is about recognizing within yourself that there's something very, very extraordinary that you haven't been trained to believe in, to come to a place where you can apply it and put it into your life. You can go way beyond ordinary. You can go way beyond just being average. All of us are extraordinary. We just have to come to believe it.
Suppose this day is all that's left. Suppose wherever you come from, you won't have time to return there and say bye-bye, and how will you use your time? If you have this attitude, that kind of earnestness, I think a lot of things will change, and so much for better. Nothing to carry over, no account for tomorrow, everything today is possible. What is possible? What would be possible?
The majority says if you go through heartbreak, if you're on your knees because your life is falling apart, rush out as quickly as possible. What I've discovered is stay in as long as possible, because difficulty is growth in wolf's clothing.
Every problem that we have can be looked at two ways. We can look at it as a difficulty to get rid of, or we can look at it as a message from our true selves. Any problem comes along not in order to make our life miserable, but actually in order to make our life less miserable. And the suffering that it imposes is an attempt to wake us up. And if we wake up, we'll have a reason to be grateful.
I'll get to it tomorrow. I'm like, who promised you that? Right? I'll get to it a month from now. I'm like, who promised you that? We live our lives and we feel as if we're promised something. You think about how many people woke up this morning thinking like, man, everything is going to be great, and life changed, right? One day you wake up on top of the world, next day you wake up, world is on top of you.
How many of you in the last 6 months has had an idea that you did not act on that you wish you would have?
You get hungry by finding something that's you. I believe that all of us are born unique. You got to find out what is it that turns you on, what resonates with you.
Some of you are not transitioning because you're okay with the life you have, and I'm telling you, when I walk out, I want to be an example of you can start from wherever and get to wherever you want to get to. That's what I'm asking you to do. What fuels you? The reason why you're so lazy is not because you don't have the ability. You're so lazy because your dream's so small.
When you break, you have the opportunity to show the world, the whole world, what you are really made of. So if you break, the fight isn't over. In fact, if you break, the fight is just beginning. And as you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place, covered, and you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see that in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
When you go for a walk with someone, something happens. Either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to?
There are people right now who are working who don't want to work. There are people who hate their jobs. They keep getting up to do it. Why? Because it's simple, it's easy, it's routine, it's guaranteed. Do me a huge favor, guys. Take full advantage of this opportunity and make your dreams become a reality.
Find your vision and follow it. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have a vision, you just drift around. You're not going to be happy. This is why it is so important to have that vision.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You have to see it when nobody else sees it. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You got to be possessed with the dream.
If you don't know who you are, you will accept less than you deserve. You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be.
You should never be satisfied with what you got, because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret.
You've got to bet on you. You believe in everybody else, you clap for everybody else, you support everybody else, you baking cakes and making cookies for everybody else. But when are you gonna look in the mirror and believe in the darn person you see? It's about time for you to believe in you, because you got it.
There ain't nothing you can do about what's gonna happen to you. You can't stop life from happening.
Do things that you have to push mentally through. And if you do those things and you continue to do those things, you'll get mentally stronger. The scary thing is, when you give up, when you don't push, when you stay in bed, you're getting mentally weaker. So develop the muscle, develop that brain power to push through when things kind of suck.
Let them go! This is a time in your life that you can no longer continue to grieve about who walked away, who abandoned you, who forsook you, who left you, who walked away. You've got to stand up and recognize that God doesn't need anything that you lost to bless you. God will always use what you've got left.
Life is 10% what happened to you, it's 90% what you do about it. You got to stop tripping every time something happened to you like it's the end of the world. It ain't.
You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done, do it.
Not only do you want to stop being scared and do that thing that you don't know if you can do or not, but you know what you got to do is you got to start taking the steps. Because when you're 18 years old, your life seems like it's gonna last forever. And I will tell you right now, it's not gonna last forever. And those years go by like a summer's day. And that time's gone. You cannot get it back. You cannot get time back. So those dreams that you have, those goals that you have, don't put them off another second. Not 1 second. Get on them and go out and make them happen starting right now.
Nobody who ever ran the Olympics and trained and worked out and finished and crossed the finish line effectively got there because they felt like working out. Your feelings will never cooperate with your dreams. Beat your feelings into captivity, because when you beat your feelings into captivity, that is what discipline is.
Just change your mindset. If you change your attitude, you change your altitude.
You gotta hear what I'm telling you. If y'all gonna be great on that field, you gotta have a why. You gotta have a reason for why you do what you do. I'm about to get everything I got, and I will know if I don't get another gig, it won't have anything to do with the fact that I didn't put everything on the field.
Your goals and dreams have to be bigger than your problems. If you're going through hell, keep going. I mean, why would you stop there? You know, I was in hell, so why stop now? If you're going through hell, you should keep going.
I told you, I want you to think about those goals. I want you to taste them. I want you to internalize it. I'm not asking you to tell me what your goals are because I'm interested in hearing everybody. I couldn't possibly do anything with it. Listen, this is what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it.
It's very important as you hold on to that dream. There are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to believe that you are the one.
Everybody on the way to where you're trying to get to, you have a decision that one day you can go forward or you turn back. The Problem is, the average person turns back from their dream.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
What do you do when you're not the only one that wants to make $1 million in your company? You're not the only one that wants to be the president. You're not the only one that wants to be the CEO. What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them.
It takes discipline to face your fears so you can conquer them. And that's what discipline is. Discipline means taking the hard road, the uphill road, to do what's right.
No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. It's possible. Yes, your dream is possible.
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
You have to lose your fear of failure. Failure is a part of the process. People who never fail never try. You have to fail. You got to get it wrong to get it right.
You can think about it, you can wish for it, you can hope for it, you can think all about it all as long as you want. But unless you get out every single motherfucking day and put in the work, inch by inch, you will never get there.
One of the things limiting you from your income, your impact, a world-class life. You care too much about what people think about you.
So no matter how you feel, get up and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. And that's discipline. It's not motivation. If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do. That's the way it works.
To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
No matter what's going on in your life, is not permanent. Everything is going to change. So there's two things you can do with change. You can react to it or you can participate in it.
Be kind to yourself. You are actually doing the best you can. Don't beat yourself up. Don't drive yourself crazy. You are actually doing the best you can.
Anything you focus your mind on, you can change. You don't like the way your life is going, you're the only one who can change it. You don't have to be an alcoholic. You don't have to be a failure. You don't have to be anything you don't want to be. If you ever decide to change your mind.
If for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, what would you be like? Because you're not everything you could be and you know it. What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you?
Stay focused, don't listen to nobody. What's on your mind, just do it. Because what's destined for you, you gonna get it.
When something sucks, good. It's gonna make me tougher and it's gonna make us stronger. So bring it.
You don't know what you've got until all hell breaks loose. You don't know what you can take until the pressure is applied to your life. You don't know how much courage you have until you've been under fire and under struggle and under tribulation. You can't learn what's in you sitting back in a lazy boy chair hitting the remote control watching HBO and Cinemax. But when all hell breaks loose, that's when you get to see what you got. Cannot get people to believe in your dream until you believe in it yourself. Nobody's going to put into your dream before you put in. You have to invest in what you dream for.
You know what's so funny? We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. Somebody gave you a guarantee, 30-day guarantee. In 30 days, if you don't make what they told you was gonna make, in 30 days you got an attitude, you want your money back. But you've never demanded your money back from yourselves. You want to put it on somebody else. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not going to work on time. I let me down. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
Stop living your life like you have 1,000 years to live. In life, you're either here today and you're gone today. If there's something that you want to do and you can't do it all at one time, do just a little bit of it.
Stop telling your visions to other people because they're not going to see it. Why you think you keep imagining opening a business? Why you keep imagining graduating, getting a better job? Why do you keep imagining buying a house? Why do you keep imagining getting rich one day? Why do you keep imagining that? Because God is talking to you. He's showing you something that He has for you.
Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. It's just an experience.
When you start running from one thing, you're going to keep running from everything. You're going to run from love. You're going to run from life. You're going to run from responsibility. You're going to run. When are you going to stop running?
Be happy today, tomorrow, and the next day. But most importantly, be happy for today. Because you know, tomorrow ain't promised to nobody. Tomorrow we could wake up and get a call saying, right, someone's died, or you've got cancer, or whatever. So every day you wake up and you open your eyes and you breathe fresh air, then you're a very blessed person.
There is a difference between passion and obsession. When you're passionate, everybody cheers you on. Oh, you found your passion? Awesome. Follow your passion. Live with passion. When you're obsessed, they're like, why you gotta be so crazy? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? Why do you spend so much time here? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts. If no one thinks you're crazy, you're not yet operating to the outer limits of your potential.
Go after your dreams, right? Go after it. I never compromised that. I never allowed anybody to tell me what I was capable of accomplishing. I never let anybody tell me that I can't do.
I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to fall over, make a mistake. That oftentimes cripples people on the onset of getting into anything.
The best way to contend with problems, with issues, with adversity is action, is by taking action. The more you sit and the more you wait and the more time you spend with that adversity, with the upper hand inside your head, the worse it's gonna get.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70 because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
Until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, only then does it start to break down tactically how we can do this.
If you look at the greats in anything that, in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation.
We all think about quitting when shit's hard. It's hard to process information during pain because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's gonna get you through hard times. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, you, I run this motherfucker.
You need to make it a habit to start every fucking day validating yourself, cheering for yourself, because life is a marathon. And this might be a challenging leg where you're like, I'm just gonna throw in the towel. I'm not gonna do that thing. Hell no. If you're standing in front of that mirror You deserve to feel the support and empowerment and encouragement that you need. You are doing so much every single day that you don't give yourself credit for.
When you invest in something and you hustle and you work for something, you got a different type of attachment to it. You're gonna have a cold day in hell for somebody to try to take this from you. We live by this, we die by this. We don't surrender, we don't retreat. Effort is isolated. The reason why effort is isolated, because nobody can dictate. Effort is 100% in the mind.
I live for today, and I don't care what happened yesterday. I live in the moment, because that's the only thing we have in our lives, are moments in time. And as soon as I've gone out that door, we can never reverse back and play it again, because it's real life, it's not a dress rehearsal. So I don't really care what happens 5 minutes ago. I'm just going to keep going today and living today and enjoying myself, because I know what God gives, God can take away in the flash of a second. It can all be turned upside down, and I've experienced it. Sometimes in life, when everything's going great for you and you don't know good from bad, you need to experience a little rain sometimes so you can enjoy the sunshine again. And now I'm happy for the small things in life.
Do you realize that every day you thought you wasn't gonna make it? Do you remember them days where you thought it was absolutely unbearable and you thought you wasn't gonna endure that one? Do you know that your survival rate for every last one of them bad days is 100%? You survived every hater, you survived all the evictions, you survived the firings, you survived all the trouble you ever been in. Your survival rate is 100%.
Failure is not an option. You've got to tell yourself, despite the circumstances, the situations, you have to tell yourself that, listen to me, I'm not going anywhere until I get the goal. Like, until I make my dreams become a reality, I'm not quitting. I don't care how much money I have to invest. I don't care how much time I have to invest. I'm going to continue to do this until I become successful.
What I've realized over the 23 years of my life, it's not the physical body that holds us back. It's not the physical body that holds us back, but it's the mindset. The biggest disability you can have is a bad mindset.
Tired don't mean nothing. Tired is only in the mind. You tell yourself you're tired, you're gonna be tired. I don't get tired.
While all my friends and people who I knew were out drinking and partying and enjoying life, what was I doing? Running fucking 10 miles down the road in the fucking rain, or killing myself in a boxing gym. And then people say to me, you know what, you're lucky. I'm lucky because I fucking worked all the hours that God gave me. I'm lucky because I fucking trained so hard that I can't be beaten.
I need you to confront you because you're the one holding you up. I need you to confront you. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not gonna do me like this no more. You're not gonna continue to sabotage me. You're not. You're not gonna keep procrastinating. I need you. You're not.
Your biggest enemy is you. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
I was a soft kid. I was sensitive, I'd cry easy, and I would be scared to fist fight. And my mother used to tell me this thing, I don't even know if you remember, but you said this to me more than once. You said, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it. Those who have swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed, will inherit the world.
The only person that can hurt me is a friend. You have to be careful of your friend more so than people that you may think is your enemy. Everybody you fight is not your enemy, and everybody that helps you is not your friend.
As a child, my parents always told me you could be whatever you want to be. You could do whatever you want to do. He who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
You will have good days and you'll have bad days, but you will always learn something more or something new on bad days than good days.
It's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say, you gotta be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great. And it takes being obsessed to where people think you're crazy.
Small minds discuss other people, gossip. Good minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas.
I stand before you without arms or legs, but a very strong man because of the bad days of my life. Unless you know three things. Number one, who are you and what your value is? Number two, what is your purpose here in life? And number three, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those three questions, you're more disabled than I.
So easy. So easy to put things off. So easy to say, you're gonna do it tomorrow. Well, I want you to reprogram your brain and tell yourself that tomorrow is not a viable option. Tomorrow doesn't work. You do it today. You get it done today. That's what you do. Go get some.
You know, having faith, you know, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing is one thing, but you gotta believe that this is your destiny and this is what you're supposed to be doing in life, you know, if you really want it. And I think as a human, sometimes you feel like you always gotta wait for the right time, what makes sense to you to actually start executing, to actually stop making excuses, to doing the things that you always really wanted to do. You know, and I'm guilty of that. And I'm starting to find myself now being like, nah, there is no right time to do anything. You just gotta start doing.
There is no shame in wanting something. This whole world is based on wanting something. You've got to discover your gift, and when you discover it, you got to soak it. You got to wring it out, man. You got to diversify it. Most of us only have one talent. But do you know that that's all you need? One of the other tricks for reinventing yourself is not letting your background become a limitation. If you take that background that you're from and never let it define you, but allow it to redefine you, all that stuff works for the good. Do you understand that you needed everything that's happened to you in the exact order that it's happened in order for you to be the person that you are today? All that failing and getting over, you needed all of that.
Your feelings don't matter. You may feel like doing something, maybe you don't feel like doing something. Doesn't matter. Get out there and do what you're supposed to do, whether you feel like it or not.
50% of winning is showing up for the fight. The fight is half over when you show up. You'll never win a fight you don't show up for. I'm showing up for this. Here I am, ready for duty. I am through hiding in the shadows for fear that I might fail. I'm gonna face this head on and let the chips fall where they may.
If you just understood the principle of success, you could be successful. It don't matter what. Anybody could be successful. You just gotta adhere to a few things. And what you gotta adhere to is not hard. The hard part is believing that it's applicable to you. But everybody is designed to be successful. You just gotta get out your way sometime.
There's gonna be things that go on that are out of your control. The worst thing you can do is let something that's out of your control control you. Get control of yourself, get control of your emotions. Don't get angry, don't get frustrated. Instead, stay calm and figure out how to move forward.
So I want to challenge you to waste no more effort wrestling with other people. Your destiny, your future is not predicated on the decision of someone else. You wasted too much of your life trying to change other people's mind about you.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
In order to be successful, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. Your mind is a machine. You must program yourself for success.
In order to make it in life, you have to develop your mind, that you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.